Okay, so welcome to another session of Lotus Brain at the Buddha Center, and today we are going to talk about one of a legend in Buddhism. Mostly, I talk about the teachings of Buddha and the modern neuroscience or the positive psychology. But today we will discuss mostly on a very interesting person in Buddhism and his teachings and the way he lived his life and basically what we can learn from him. Uh, I don't know whether you have heard about him or not. He's not a very renowned figure, but yes, some people know about him. There was some documentary, there was some books which is written on him, and nowadays on the YouTube and the internet you can find some some of the information. And his name is Bodhidharma. Yeah, some similarities with my name, but yeah, he's way above. Uh, he's on a different level altogether. So his name is Bodhidharma, and he was mostly people believe that he was from a southern part of India. And that point of time, we did not have internet, we did not have mobile phone, so we can only know about a person from written accounts. So if a person has documented someone's life, that is the only way we could uh, learn about that person. And for Bodhidharma, uh, most of the things we can learn about him from the chant tradition. So, what did Bodhidharma teach? So, Bodhidharma's teachings was quite direct, and his teachings we can sum up in four sentences, and it is called the four core principle of Bodhidharma. If you have read at any book, if you have seen in documentary, this four core principle is always described. So, what are these four core principle of Bodhidharma? The first is a special transmission outside the scripture. So, the Bodhidharma taught people to contemplate and introspect their own mind rather than only depending upon the scriptural studies. The next core principle is not founded upon words and letters. So Bodhidharma said that, like Buddhism, it's a experiential philosophy which you can only experience and which you cannot find in words and letters. The third core principle is pointing directly toward human mind. And later on, I will describe more about this particular principle that pointing directly toward human mind. So it's basically, like the famous Greek saying, know thyself. So Bodhidharma says that similar thing that know your mind, know your nature. And the last one is seeing into one's nature, attaining Buddhahood. So Bodhidharma's core teaching was uh, Buddhahood is not something that we attain, that we gain, or that we seek, and finally we attain the Buddha nature. So Bodhidharma said that we all have this Buddha nature. We all are potentially Buddha. When we just discard, or when we strip all this mental fabrication, these mental conditionings, this anger, jealousy, fear, desire, um, so automatically the inner Buddha, you know, shines outside. So we all have that inner Buddha. And when we just remove all this uh, mental dirt, like mental conditioning, so the inner Buddha wakes up. And I could remember a very similar quotation by Michelangelo. I think you all have heard about Michelangelo. And he said something spectacular. And he said that I saw the angel in the marble and curved until I set him free. So he said that I saw the angel in the marble and I curved until I set him free, because he was a sculptor, he was a painter. And you might have seen that the sculptor, they keep on chiseling a piece of marble till they make some wonderful, sculpt. So similar thing, the Buddha is sitting inside of us. We need to just remove all this marble dust, and then we will find our inner Buddha. Uh, and Bodhidharma uh, was a very, I would say, eccentric personality. I mean, he used to give shocks to the monks, to disciples. He had a kind of shock treatment. So he used to tell stories with riddles, with metaphor. Sometimes he used to shout at people, and sometimes when people, asked him question, he remained, absolute silent. When sometimes people asked him about what happens after enlightenment, is there any afterlife, he asked the monks to focus on the present moment. Don't think about afterlife. You're not dead yet. So he has a very different kind of personality. Now a little bit history about Bodhidharma. So Bodhidharma actually went to China from India, and the text that we can find about Bodhidharma is mostly from the Chan tradition. So in India, the meditation, the word of meditation in Sanskrit called dhyan, Dhyan. Dhyan. Dhyan means to meditate. So when Bodhidharma went to China and he took a sea route, because that time there was no aeroplane. The Wright brothers uh, were not born, and it was mostly fifth century, or fifth to sixth century. That is the time the Bodhidharma preached Buddhism to China. And so when this Dhyan concept went to China, it became Chan, Chan. And later this Chan concept went to Japan, and there it became Zen Buddhism. We all are familiar with this word called Zen. Sometimes we said, that person is so Zen. That means he is a very calm person. He never gets agitated. He's always focused. So we say he has a very Zen kind of personality. So this word Zen actually came from Chan in China. In Japan, it becomes Zen. When it go to Korea, it became Sion, and when it went to Vietnam, the same concept was known as Thien. So Chen, Zen, Sion, and Thien, all the concepts are same, just in different countries they are called in a different name. So Bodhidharma was actually credited to this Zen philosophy, so the Zen Buddhism. And in the Zen Buddhism, it's they give more focus on your experience, the experiential learning, rather than scripture or text. Yes, those are necessary. So Bodhidharma never said that you do not study Buddhist scripture, but Bodhidharma said that don't depend on scriptures, books, or teachers alone. You find your own Buddha nature, which is already there within you. You just need to remove these external uh, mental conditioning. And we get to know about Bodhidharma through different legends and through different folklores. We do not know what is historically accurate because it's long time back, and mostly from Chan tradition we get to know about Bodhidharma. Uh, so the Bodhidharma first went to China, and there he met with the emperor, and the name of the emperor was Wu, and he was known as Wu of Liang. So probably he was the emperor of the province called Liang, and there he had a little debate with that emperor. The emperor said that, you know, I have built so many temples, I have sponsored so many monks, I have made so many buildings, and that is a noble thing. The Bodhidharma says that, what is so noble about that? The focusing on the emptiness is the real Buddhist teachings. The focusing on emptiness and the the direct insight, the direct experience of the Buddha nature. It's the crux of Buddhism. And after the little debate, the Bodhidharma, went to Mount. Uh, some people say song, some people say sang. I'm not sure which one is the right one. And there he stayed near a monastery, and it was a Shaolin monastery. I think in our childhood we used to see the martial art movies about Shaolin. I still remember I saw one movie, I think 36 Chamber of Shaolin. So that time we had a VCR. We used to bring some cassette, and we had to, insert the cassette, and the televisions was different, a big box kind of television. Nowadays, uh, we don't use those kind of devices. So Bodhidharma stayed near a Shaolin monastery, and there he meditated inside a cave. That cave was near the Shaolin monastery, and he meditated for 9 years, facing a cave wall. Uh, so here, the cave wall is also, I don't know whether it's a literal cave wall or it's a metaphor, because the cave wall is a kind of metaphor which says that we can also have a immovable mind. you know like a cave wall, we can also have a immovable mind, which is not affected by praise, by blame, by fear, by desire, by anger, and uh, we can develop this kind of uh, detached mind by this kind of meditations. And it is said that sometimes Bodhidharma used to come out from that cave, and he used to teach different physical exercise to the Buddhist monks, because that point of time Buddhist monks were mostly uh, involved in some ritual, worshipping, the monastic work, and sitting for long hours. So he used to teach some physical exercise so that um, their body does not become weak, or sitting for long hours for meditation, it does not affect them. Maybe they they had some back pain, or maybe they had some posture issues, and it is believed that the kind of physical exercise that Bodhidharma taught to those monks, it became the foundation of Shaolin Kung Fu or Shaolin martial art. But actual kung fu and the actual martial art was there in China even before Bodhidharma stepped in China. Bodhidharma came to China. So even 200, 300 years back, there was already a martial art, but it is believed that Bodhidharma's uh, teaching of different kind of physical exercise is the foundation of Shaolin martial art. And Bodhidharma taught the spiritual aspect of martial art and not the military aspect. So he used to teach some kind of physical movement which is more spiritual in nature rather than fighting with another person, like Tai Chi or Qigong, which shows the harmony, how we can maintain a harmony in nature and how we can maintain the balance between body and mind, because Bodhidharma believed that mind and body are not separate. They are the same thing. And we need to strengthen both. We need to make our mind stronger and we need to make our body stronger. Not, either one of it. We need to make both stronger because it's the same thing. It's not different. Uh, so these are the different stories of Bodhidharma that we get to know from these chant traditions, folklore, some legends, and different stuff. And this wall gazing, the 9 years Bodhidharma meditated silently facing at the wall. In Chinese, it's called Bianguan or Baiguan. That become a tradition in Chan Buddhism and in Zen Buddhism, this wall gazing. And the Bodhidharma says that this meditative practice is more important than scriptural studies, rituals, or doctrines. And because of that, he even had some difference of opinions with other Buddhist teachers. It was not like that time he was only the Buddhist teacher. There were many Buddhist teachers who used to migrate from India to China and different part of the world, Sri Lanka, Cambodia. So that is a he was a very different kind of personality. Uh, so what we can learn from Bodhidharma? That was today's discussions, and that is what I'm going to narrate right now. So, five important lessons of Bodhidharma that we can learn, that we can practice, and that we can set an example. The first thing is Bodhidharma always believed in direct insight, the direct experience, and he said in many places that the direct insight, the direct experience matter more than external ritual or external stuff. The second thing that he has taught that he himself meditated for 9 years near the Shaolin monastery in a cave. So he said that the sustained, prolonged, unglamorous practice brings the real capacity. So it's not about uh, showing things to other people. It's about what you are doing uh, aloof from the society, or maybe just at the corner of your room. You are meditating, you are chanting, and you are doing, in Sanskrit there is a word called tapasya. Tapasya means you are devoting your time for upliftment. And this upliftment could be of the spiritual nature, this upliftment could be of material nature. So even a student can do tapasya so that he can become a better student. A businessman can do a tapasya so that he can become a better businessman. And a Buddhist can do tapasya so that he can become a better Buddhist. Uh, Bodhidharma talked about finding your own nature because Bodhidharma said that the Buddha is already sitting inside of you. Just like Michelangelo said that I saw the angel and I kept on curving till I set him free. So we need to do the similar thing. And Bodhidharma always focused on simplicity and not some very complex or very difficult conceptual thing. He used to give a direct answer, and he always encouraged students to ask him direct questions. But at the same time, sometimes he used to give metaphors, but that is also uh, for the students uh, who is willing to work hard uh, to get the uh, well earned wisdom. So there is a learning curve in everything. If you know about second life building, or that is a second life skill, you know how hard it is when you first start it. You know those yellow boxes, then you put different yellow boxes, then you put textures. Why I'm giving this example? Because right now we are in second life, or maybe you started coding. I still remember in college we used to code C language. I started like hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, then main bot, and the actual coding begins. Initially it's very difficult and you have to spend the time to get the wisdom. The learning curve will be there. So the Bodhidharma also asks students to respect that learning curve, and with the right time, the right things comes. I was watching the Lord of the Rings movie, and there was I think some of you have seen the Lord of the Rings movie, and the Gandalf will come into the Shires, and Bilbo Baggins says that you are late, Gandalf. The Gandalf will say the wizard is never late. You know, he does not come early, he does not come late. He comes at the exact time when he, supposed to come. So the Bodhidharma also believed in similar thing. And I'm sorry to bring different examples from different walk of life, the coding or the Lord of the Rings, but I think I give this example so that it becomes crystal clear to you. And Bodhidharma asks the students to keep patience till the wisdom dawns in their mind. And Bodhidharma said that we can reach enlightenment, or we can reach Buddhahood in two ways. The first way is, he said that uh, entrance by principle or by your mindset. And how we can prepare that mindset? Meditation, the silent meditation, the Chan tradition, the Wall, or in, in Chinese, which is called, yes, Baiguan or Bianguan. So first thing is preparing this mindset, developing the mind by doing silent meditation every day. And the second way or the second path is by practice. What is the different practice? The different practice is first is accepting suffering. So when we are wounded by any incident, or when we are experiencing any form of suffering, that could be mental, that could be emotional, that could be physical. We should not blame anyone. We should not put fingers to another person that because of you I am suffering. No, it's not like that. We have to accept the suffering, because in that suffering also there is a message of wisdom, there is a message of teaching. The second one is adapting to condition. So he said that we need to be very adaptable because not every day is, sunshine and rainbow. It's not that every day it's going to be good for you, or maybe wherever you go, you will get a good Airbnb room or something like that. And at that point of time, 5th century, 6th century, the the lifestyle was not so modern, and there was difficult life for people who used to live in monastery. Most of the monastery used to be at the top of a hill, so the monks had to come down to fill the bucket for water. They had to come down for food and for different things. Life was difficult. So he said that wherever you go, you have to adapt to yourself. Adapting is the one of the most important lesson, not only in Buddhism but even for our survival. How we adapt to a situation without complaining, without blaming, without finding faults. We become peaceful at that thing after some time because the resistance goes away. The third thing, he said that you know the more you desire, the more you suffer. So if you seek nothing, you will be peaceful. But if you have endless wishes, I need two house, I need two Ferrari, I need five iPhone. There is no end to desire. Yeah, definitely we need to have what is important for our life so that we can live our life in a comfortable manner. But if you have too many desires, then you don't own things. You will be owned by those things. So those things you desire will actually start controlling you. And he definitely said that we need to practice in dharma. So whatever is described in dharma, what Buddha taught, we have to practice all these things. So this is how Bodhidharma started teaching about Buddhism. And the Bodhidharma was a very different kind of personality altogether. He was kind of a, like raw, or I would say, uh, I mean, fierce and fire-like monk, and who is to have a very, what is mentioned in the text, that who used to always have a very glowing eyes and fully focused mind. And he gave a lot of importance on silent meditation and the physical exercise. And if you go to YouTube, if you feel more uh, interested about Bodhidharma, there are some nice documentaries and nice videos. You can read more about Bodhidharma. So we can have the better understanding of this person. But yes, as I said that I am not sure how much of the information is historically correct, because that point of time most of the things used to be transmitted by people, the disciples after disciple. One monastery, he they used to transmit this knowledge to their disciple, and this is how we get to uh, know about Bodhidharma. But yes, his life was shrouded in mystery. Many people said that he had uh, some, some spiritual power. He used to read minds and these and that. But most of these things are metaphors. And sometimes the problem starts happening when we start taking metaphors in a literal manner. Like if you see many movies, or if you see many things, people used to levitate while doing meditation. So this levitation is a kind of, also a kind of metaphor, that they are uplifting themselves from the worldly things. So, but we feel that, oh, in ancient time there were some people who used to levitate. We don't know. So we need to, we should not take these metaphors in a literal sense. So that was all about today's session. Today I did not talk about neuroscience. I thought maybe you all need some little change. I always talk about, oh, there was a research in this university, there was, this psychologist says this neuroscientist says that. Today I thought that I will fully focus on the teachings of Bodhidharma. And now, if you have any question, if you want to share your experience, or if you know anything about Bodhidharma, please do. We will take the question answer for 2 3 minutes, and then I will close the session. Yeah, over to you all. You can use your voice or you can type in the local chat.